On some strange mornings, I forget to be myself. Is it that this hasty world distracts me, or that my stamina flies away? Perhaps both. I do know that without permission, my personality abandons me, fearing to confront others with my truth. When that happens, I am at the mercy of someone who, without a thought, imposes on me his own desires or shapes the day at her peculiar whim.
For Leo Peter, remembering his words is a race against time. He, in turn, cares for his mother, who no longer speaks.
Her name is Esperanza Peter, and she was diagnosed about 5 years ago with dementia. And it shows in a different way, like her osteoporosis has gone very bad. She can hardly make a few steps, and she can also forget some of the daily routines, like what the day is and the month.
Caring for his mother provides a daily reminder of what the future may hold for Leo.
Well, at first I get a little sad, and I find myself going into a little depression stage. But then I tell myself I have to remember her in her better times, in her most enjoyable moments. And I keep repeating that to myself, and it makes me level the other feelings that I have.
Leo's story begins in the Dominican Republic. Born in Santo Domingo, he was 14 years old when Dominican dictator Rafael Trujillo was assassinated, throwing the country into turmoil. Leo's mother and his father, a history professor, feared for their son's safety and sent him to live with relatives in Chicago. It was 1961. 2 years later, Leo moved to Queens, graduated from high school in Puerto Rico, and returned to the Dominican Republic to study literature and languages. He was once a journalist in Santo Domingo, a man who measured his words carefully. Leo traveled back to New York City, first to Washington Heights and then Inwood, where he married and divorced. He has no children. He graduated from City College with a degree in creative writing while working the night shift as a maintenance worker. It was on this job that Leo began to forget names, tools, appointments. Leo's diagnosis was named after Dr. Alois Alzheimer, a psychiatrist who took on an unusual case in 1901. A German woman named Augusta Dieter had begun to lose her memory. Dr. Alzheimer asked her to write her name. She tried, but she could not remember. She replied, "I have lost myself." That's how Alzheimer's and dementia begin, with the forgetting. The brain slowly becomes filled with plaques and tangles, very much like abstract paintings, so that Leo will not forget his own words, and so that others will remember them. He puts his words into poetry and prose.
If I can build a bridge between dawn and dusk, looking for my own meaning to what happens around me and under my skin, my hours will be well spent. I know that for such a task, I would need to wear the garments of sincerity and let all the creativity I still have inside me arise. Well, I was surprised that I had the diagnosis of mild cognitive impairment, which is a stage like at the threshold of Alzheimer It's not really Alzheimer, but it's at the door of it.
Leo attends the Memory Center at Riverstone Senior Life Services in Washington Heights, where he and others are encouraged to write and share their words and thoughts, feelings, and memories.
I write about words because I was in a stage that I was losing some of the words, friends, addresses, and stuff like that. So I wanted to grab them and use my time as much as I could with the words that I still had.
Like Leo, more than 5 million Americans and 47 million people around the world live with Alzheimer's or dementia. It's a matter of time before memory is erased and language lands in a cemetery of forgotten words. But Leo is remarkably philosophical.
Okay, so physically you change. The friends that you had, you become surprised. Sometimes it's difficult to recognize them. So it's the transit of time that takes care of our youth. And the thing is, you have to accept every stage of your life and think about it in the present and do whatever is fit for that stage. And exhausted, then you feel better about yourself. Dulce. Salió un poquito. When I compare myself to what my mother had, I tell myself perhaps that I still have some time to do some things if the situation, if what she has comes to me too. So as much as I can, I try to write some poems or prose. But by the end of the day, when the sheets of my bed call me to succumb from the hardships of a day well earned, perhaps then I will have learned a little bit more of who I am.